Welcome back to SAP Academy. In this video, we're diving into one of the most essential topics in SAP SD, pricing conditions. So, what are pricing conditions? In SAP, every product's price is not just a single number. It's calculated using multiple conditions like base price, discounts, surcharges, freight, and taxes. Think of it like this. Final price equals base price plus freight minus discount plus tax. Each of those elements is a condition in SAP, represented by condition types such as PR00 for base price, K004 for customer discount, KF00 for freight, and WST for tax. SAP combines all these using something called the condition technique, which determines the final selling price automatically during order creation. Pricing conditions are the foundation of SAP SD pricing, and mastering them is key for every functional consultant. Part 2. How SAP determines the final price. Condition technique explained. Now let's understand how SAP actually calculates the final price. This is done using something called the condition technique, the core logic behind SAP pricing. Here's how it works step by step. 1. Condition table. This is where SAP stores pricing data, like customer plus material or material plus sales org. 2. Access sequence. It tells SAP where to look for the right price, which condition table to check first. 3. Condition type defines what the condition does, like PR00 for price, K004 for discount, MWST for tax. 4. Pricing procedure combines all condition types in a specific order to calculate the final price. When you create a sales order, SAP checks all these components automatically. It looks up condition records, applies discounts, surcharges, and taxes, and calculates the net price instantly. So basically, the condition technique is SAP's pricing engine. It decides which condition applies when and how much. Part 3, Key Pricing Condition. Types PR00, K004, MWST, etc. In SAP SD, pricing is built using condition types. Each one represents a different element of the price calculation. Let's look at the most common ones you'll see in every SAP project. 1. PR00, base price. This is the main selling price of a product. It usually comes from the material master or a customer-specific condition record. 2. K004, customer discount. This reduces the base price for specific customers or sales areas. For example, large customers might get a 10% discount. 3. KF00. Freight represents transportation or delivery costs that are added to the price. 4. MWST. Tax. The standard condition for VAT or sales tax, calculated on the net amount. 5. PB00. Purchasing price, used in MM but often referenced in SD-MM integration. Pro tip: every condition type has a purpose, calculation method, and account key. And they all work together inside the pricing procedure to form the final amount. Understanding condition types is the first step to mastering SAP pricing. Part 4. Access sequence. How SAP finds the right condition record. Let's talk about how SAP actually finds the right price from all those possible records. This is where the access sequence comes in. It's like SAP's search roadmap for pricing. When you create a sales order, SAP doesn't just guess the price. It follows a specific access sequence to look for valid condition records. Here's the process 1. Each condition type, like PR00 or K004, is linked to an access sequence. 2. The access sequence contains multiple condition tables, for example, customer plus material, customer group plus material only 3. SAP checks these tables in sequence, from the most specific to the most general. 4. The first valid record it finds becomes the active price for that order. Example: if there's a customer-specific price, SAP picks that. If not, it falls back to a general material price. This ensures that every sales order always gets the correct and most relevant price, automatically and instantly. Part 5. Pricing Procedure. Overview, steps, and structure. Now that you understand condition types and access sequences, let's bring it all together with the pricing procedure. The structure that controls how SAP calculates the final price. A pricing procedure is like a recipe. It defines which condition types are used in what order and how each one contributes to the final total. Here's how it works. 1. Step numbers. Define the sequence in which conditions are applied. 2 condition types. Each row represents an element, like PR00, K004, KF00, or MWST. 3 from slash to columns. Used to calculate subtotals, for example. Base plus discount before tax. 4 account keys. Link pricing elements to GL accounts in FI, EGG, ERL for revenue, MWS for tax. Example: in a standard procedure, RVAA01, SAP first applies the base price, PR00, then subtracts discounts, K004, adds freight, KF00, and finally applies tax, MWST. The result? A fully automated price calculation with 100% traceability and audit-ready detail. This is where all the pricing magic happens in SAP SD. Part 6. Real life. Example price calculation in a sales order. Let's bring everything together with a real example of how pricing works inside a sales order in SAP SD. Imagine you create a sales order in VA01 for a customer buying 10 units of a product. Here's what SAP does in the background. 1 PR00, base price. The system finds the material's base price. For example, 100 USD each. 2K004, discount. The customer qualifies for a 10% discount, minus 10 USD per item. 3KF00, freight. Freight cost is added, plus 5 USD per item. 4 MWST, tax. 20% tax is applied to the net subtotal. SAP then calculates automatically. Final price equals 100 minus 10 plus 5 times 10 plus tax. And here's the best part. You can view the entire breakdown in Conditions tab of the sales order. Item level conditions. It shows every condition type, its value, and calculation base. This is how SAP delivers full transparency. Every cent of the final price can be traced to a specific condition record. Part 7. Recap plus tips plus call to action. Let's quickly recap everything we covered about pricing conditions in SAP SD. 1. Pricing conditions define how SAP builds the final selling price. Base, discounts, freight, and taxes. 2. The condition technique controls the logic. How SAP searches, prioritizes, and applies prices. 3. Condition types like PR00, K004, KF00, and MWST each play a unique role. 4. Access sequences decide where SAP looks for valid prices. 5. Pricing procedure ties it all together. Step by step, it adds, subtracts, and calculates your final amount. 6. And finally, in a sales order, SAP automatically pulls everything to calculate the total with full transparency. Pro tips: always verify your pricing procedure setup. RVAA01 or ZVAXXX. Check the condition record validity dates. Expired ones won't apply. Use Analysis button, Control-Shift F5, in the Conditions tab to debug pricing logic like a pro. Call to action. If this helped you understand how pricing works in SAP SD, hit the like button, subscribe to SAP IFI Academy, and tell me as comments, which pricing condition type confused you the most? Stay tuned for the next video. SAP SD Pricing Procedure Configuration. Step by step. See you there.